Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm glad you could join me this week for a sketch of a Newfoundland lighthouse, the Long Point Lighthouse near Twillingate. And we visited this lighthouse among many others on our trip to Newfoundland earlier this year in 2025. I thought this would make a really nice sketch, so I decided to do a very small 3 by 5 inch sketch, as if you'd do in a sketchbook when you're sitting next to the lighthouse. Very simplified version of the lighthouse. Just an interpretation of the scene without worrying about too much detail, simplifying it quite a bit. So as I start to draw, I'm looking basically at the lines and the shapes and the directions of the lines so that I get the perspective fairly close. And you can see sometimes I'll put a line and then do another line to make that the distance or the perspective a little bit closer to reality. But because it's such a small sketch, it really doesn't matter if there's a few lines that are kind of out of place. It all comes together in the end. There isn't too much detail, being a small building in the distance. Even the windows are very simple, little dark splotches. But as long as you get the impression that it's a window, then it's good. I'm taking my time to get the lines correct. Get the perpendicular lines perpendicular and the angled lines close to the correct angle. And noting that the curved line of the top of the lighthouse kind of curves upward. And making sure all the little windows are in. They don't have to be exact, but it gives the overall impression of being a building, and it gives it scale as well. I don't zoom in on my iPad because I want to sketch simply and not be overwhelmed by all the little details that you could see if you zoomed in and really looked at it with a magnifying glass kind of thing. So if you're sitting on your stool or on a rock or whatever, just sketching for 10 minutes, 15 minutes while you're there, you want to try to eliminate a lot of the details and to just show the shapes and the general idea. I decided to put the other small building in. I could have left that out. I put it in just for, I don't know why, I just felt like putting it in. a lot of sketching and drawing is feeling. So you could leave it out, you could put it in, whatever, it's your drawing, you can do what you want really. There are a lot of trees in this scene, and if you tried to draw every single one of them, it would take a little bit longer. I mean, you could if that's what you were going for. Just relax and put in every little tree in. For this drawing, say you're sitting in the bright sun and you want to just do a fast sketch. because really you could take a photograph and just leave, but if you sit down and you take the time to really look at the scene, make a sketch, and listen to the sounds and the wind and the seagulls, and just get the real feel of the area. That's what you can do if you just sit and sketch. Now I'm trying to simplify the trees, show that there are a lot of trees without drawing every single one of them. A little bit by instinct, a little bit by feel, lines that you've made in other drawings that you've done over the years. A few wiggly lines can show that it is a tree, especially for the pines up on the horizon there. That just a few little squiggly lines up and down and to the side. It really does look like a small tree. I saw a few trunks in the scene, trunks of trees, so I thought, well, I'd put some of those in. It kind of changed up the way I was drawing. But in the end, I think it worked. It kind of showed that there were larger trees. Then over this side, I decided to do it a different way, just for fun. Just the outlines. And for me, even just the outline, the shape of a tree, shows that it is a tree and what kind of tree it is. And this is when I decided just to do a little border at the top, not all the way around, just for a little variety. You could have done a border completely around and painted it in, but I decided to do it this way. This is very smooth paper. It's a multimedia paper. Really doesn't react to watercolor the same way as a watercolor paper would. So it dries quite fast, leaving a sharp edge. So every time I put paint down there, I was wiping off into the brush and going right back really fast and smudging the edges. You have to work a little bit faster, but if you work in little areas like this, it works okay. And again, if you're sitting out in the bright sun, it's going to dry fast anyway with whatever kind of paper you use. So it's kind of a fast method to get down some color without too much complication. Now this is real time. I'm actually doing it this fast, just zipping the paint down there and just smoothing the edges. One thing with lighthouses, when they have the red roofs and bodies of the lighthouse, it really contrasts nicely with any green. It's all about simplicity for this kind of drawing for me. And making sure you pay close attention to where the sun's coming from, where the shadows are. And you put a few little seagulls up in the sky there to give it some life. For those lines up at the top of the lighthouse, I turned the pen nib over so it was more of a fine line to get those fine lines in there. And a few little touches just to finish it off, and there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you tune in again. That was a lot of fun for me, and I really enjoy doing these, and I love sharing. Thank you for coming. See you again.